Now, parts of India may face power outages in the near future, this due to a coal shortage crisis in a majority of Indian power plants. Asia's third biggest economy now faces the challenge of managing a surge in demand, shortage in domestic supply and the booming international prices. The situation now threatens to hamper India's post-pandemic economic recovery. India has 135 coal-fired power plants, 64 of them have less than 4 days of stock. 25 plants have less than 7 days of coal stocks, while 17 have completely run out of their coal reserves. Not even a single power plant has a week's supply. Indian federal guidelines recommend supplies of at least 2 weeks. But how dependent is India on coal for power generation? Nearly 66% of all power generation in the country depends on coal. The remaining is then supplied through renewable resources including solar, hydro and wind. India is the second largest importer, consumer and producer of coal, and the country has the fourth highest coal reserves in the world. So why is one of the world's largest coal producing countries facing this sudden crisis? Now, demand for electricity surged after the second COVID wave earlier this year as restrictions were lifted, leading to increased industrial output. However, heavy September rain in coal mining areas flooded mines, hit domestic production and deliveries of coal. Meanwhile, coal-powered plants had also failed to build up their stockpiles in the meantime. These factors then led to a sharp decline in India's domestic coal production, and the option then is to import coal to meet this demand. However, that too has proven to be troublesome. Surging global demand driven by China has led to an unprecedented increase in global coal prices, making the import of coal untenable for many. Indonesia is one of India's main coal suppliers. Prices to import a ton of coal from Indonesia have surged from $60 in March to $200 in September 2021. Australia is another major coal producer, but imports costs have been risen 50% in the last 3 months. These high prices have now forced Indian buyers to shun coal imports despite a shortage in domestic supply. This has compounded the crisis further. In fact, in August and September, Indian coal imports dropped by 30% while global coal prices rallied by 40%. So what will be the impact of the looming coal crunch in India? This crisis may lead to power outages in parts of the country. Consumers may also face higher electricity prices. Industrial production in factories may be hit, leading to an inflation in product prices. Consumers are likely to feel the pinch. Meanwhile, revenues for power generators may also be impacted. And the government of India is in the process of taking several steps to manage the current crisis and prevent future ones. Coal mines that produce coal solely for their own use, known as captive mines, will now be allowed to sell 50% of their annual output in the open market to meet this demand now. India's coal ministry has also asked state-run Coal India to diversify its interests in areas such as electric vehicles and charging stations. This will also help India achieve its climate goals and meet demand through renewable resources in the future. Coal India is the world's largest coal-producing company. Now we come to the biggest question here: when will the crisis ease? Ratings agencies says in a quote, and I'm quoting here, the supply crunch is expected to persist with the non-power sector facing the heat as imports remain the only option to meet demand but the rising costs. Coal inventory at Indian thermal plants will improve only gradually by next March. While large-scale power outages like those in China seem unlikely in the immediate future, some pockets of India are likely to face power outage in the near future. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.